You need to start being comfortable asking cops flat out, very respectfully, are you ordering me to give you my ID? And if they say yes, respectfully, which crime are you, did I commit? That's it. And they don't have to answer you either way, but you need to get that on body camera, or you need to get that on your cell phone if you're recording. And at the same time, we need more federal criminal prosecution of police officers. This is the only way this changes. That we have an epidemic of insanely stupid cops. Matt Thornton, Detective Matt Thornton, he's a good friend. He did this video the other day, and something struck me as being insane, especially with the timing of this video. I'm going to play this video. We're going to watch it. We're going to listen, and we're going to have a discussion about how your Second Amendment right used to be something that was so powerful that you had as a deterrent for criminal activity, that when the police came in power, you no longer have the right to your Second Amendment. However, it would solve a majority of the bullshit that police show up for. We need to look at this for a second.
Watch this video. Can this cop demand IDs like this?
You're all being trespassed. Need your IDs.
Wait, hold on. So we buy things and then you just take our IDs and trespass. You don't even ask us to leave first?
You have to tell us to leave.
Yeah, I'm telling you now.
Yeah, I said we can leave once we're done. Like,
no, you're going to leave now or go to jail. Trespass for what?
There's no reason. They want you gone. That's it. Yeah, they never told. We just got.
I'm not going to argue about it.
I'm just telling you.
It doesn't matter. All right. Well, I'm not going to argue here, but just so you know, it is being recorded.
The answer, absolutely not. I am so tired of seeing cops screw this up. If somebody has not committed a crime and they are just being trespassed, they must be given the opportunity to follow the law and leave. As long as they leave, up until that point, there has been no reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime, so you cannot demand ID. After the 75,861st time I've seen videos just like this, PDs across the country, please train your people.
Now, here's the deal. Matt, who's 100% right on this, did this video, and ironically enough, the next day, I wound up going over the Riverside, California police incident where the guy was in McDonald's and he died in the hands of police custody after being trespassed for being in the bathroom too long. And if you didn't watch the breakdown, I will put the link in the description of this, and it made no sense to me. What crime did this man commit in order to be seized by the police, which ultimately led them to using some of the worst tactics I have ever seen, which of course they couldn't follow through with. So they beat the shit out of him, and ultimately he winds up dying from, I believe, a medical overdose of some kind of pharmaceuticals or whatnot. I didn't read the coroner report, but again, you have the what do the instructors call it in the academy when I was in there? It's called, I'm gonna get that son of a bitch, right? We get such tunnel vision that we forget what the law is. I have been to so many criminal trespass to property, criminal trespass to residence, and in my day as a cop, we never said I'm going to trespass you. This term, it's very weird to me because we never said it. The calls that we used to get were either unwanted subject. Well, it's unwanted subject. That was it. And if it was to a business, we never ordered or demanded ID unless they committed a crime. Shoplifting, caused a disturbance. Then you have a signature on a non-traffic ticket for like disorderly conduct, and you can arrest them for disorderly conduct, do a street booking, get their ID because you have to get all the information. It's a lawful arrest, and then advise them, just to let you know, Walmart, Walgreens, Target, Kmart, I'm dating myself. They don't want you on the property anymore. If you show up again and they identify you, you will be arrested for criminal trespass to property. Now, in Illinois, we have two separate things, right? Criminal trespass to real property and criminal trespass to residence. Criminal trespass to residence requires the subject being unlawfully within the residence. Criminal trespass to real property, you could be on the property, but the caveat is you have to be warned by the owner of the property not to show up again. A cop cannot just go up. Like if this cop went to McDonald's and he saw this guy was in there, he can't go, yeah, you've been in here too long, you got to go. He can't do it. McDonald's has to tell him, we don't want this guy here. But as I said before, I don't know when police became the nightclub doorman of the established corporation. You just saw in Matt Thornton's video, that brain-dead moron of a cop had no fucking clue why they were being trespassed. We need criminal, federal prosecution. Again, that's a violation of their Fourth Amendment. You're demanding their ID. You're unlawfully seizing them. That's an issue. I'm sorry, there's no other way this will change without the criminal prosecution on a federal level of police officers. So more cops stop fucking around on TikTok with their lip syncing dance routines and go, maybe I should study a little bit more today. Maybe I should review some of Cop Talk Live's body camera footage so I don't make the same fucking mistake and get featured on his channel. It would behoove you to do that. But when we went to calls, even criminal trespass or unwanted subject, because it wasn't a criminal trespass. Most of the time, what was it? You got a girlfriend and a boyfriend. She breaks up with him. He drives over to the house. She doesn't want him there. I can't order him to give me his ID. If he comes here again, I want him arrested. Okay, I can ask, hey, sir, do you have your ID on you by chance? I got to get you out of here. You're not under arrest, but do you have your ID? It was 100% of the time, because you, the citizen, do not know you can say no. They always gave us our IDs. So when it came to this problem in America, seeing these on the videos, I'm kind of baffled because I never ordered anybody their ID. I asked, but stupid me, I thought people knew they could refuse. So we would have report numbers punched. John Doe showed up to 123 Main Street to visit Jane Doe. Jane Doe doesn't want him anymore. RO, responding officer, advised John Doe if he returned to the property and Jane Doe wanted to file a complaint, he would be arrested for criminal trespass to residence or real property, right? That's how it was. We were so silver smooth tongue like salesmen, we got the IDs without incidents. But now, cops are just demanding IDs. They're just demanding IDs. So as we saw in this footage here with the Riverside, the subject committed no crime, and ultimately that led up to him being arrested and detained, and we saw how this went. Two cops who didn't have a fucking idea what they were doing beat the shit out of this guy. They had no clue. But again, for what crime? What crime? Didn't want to identify himself. It's okay to say, shit, the bad guy in your eyes because you're a cop. Man, they get one up today. I'm not the end-all, be-all, and he doesn't have to give me his ID, and okay, I'm going to move on. It's okay, and it's also good for you citizens to start saying, are you lawfully ordering me to give you my identification? And if so, what law did I break? What law do you suspect me of breaking? Get it on camera. Get it on their body camera. Make sure their body cameras are running, and then file a lawsuit, right? So we have that. We have these cops who do not know what they're doing. This also stemmed from a dangerous conversation that I had with a police officer in my DMs, and I'm not interested in being friends with anybody. These are dangerous issues to have. This was an actual conversation with a man who, I guess he's a police officer, tells me, Dom, as far as the Riverside incident that you posted, there wasn't a crime, but how do you trespass someone without identifying who they are? In Pennsylvania, it starts as a summary no traffic offense. You need to start that process. I read that and I was kind of fucking dumbfounded. And I'm going, well, a non-traffic ticket is anything that doesn't involve the car. So battery, disorderly conduct, criminal damage to property. Those are non-traffic offenses. So that's where it goes. The no traffic. The refusal to submit ID isn't a crime. Well, it would be if they committed a crime, right? Now, you need to see how people, we need to expose this in America because cops are breaking the law, and I don't think they know it. And if they don't know it, shame on fucking them. And if they're doing this here, what else are they doing that's a violation of our rights, right? The refusal to submit the ID isn't the crime. This is a cop. I would kidnap him to fingerprint him for identification, then release. I would have explained that. It's okay in PA. Was that not okay in Illinois? Not a fucking chance in hell. There's no way that I could kidnap somebody, seize them, detain them without probable cause, cart them back to our holding facility, or if I had the portable fingerprint on the board, which it wasn't even electronic back then, it was still paper, I could not order them to give me their fingerprints. And I flat out asked, you admit you unlawfully seize subjects in order to identify them for what it is, ultimately a civil matter. In my opinion, if somebody shows up at your home and you don't want them there, it's a civil matter. It's not criminal. No, if he didn't shout, scream. Somebody DM'd me the other day. Says, "Oh, I'm a journalist too. What's your address?" Come on over, man. I might answer the fucking door naked. You know, that's what you'll get from me, right? Get it on video. It's just, I don't know what else to tell you. You'll need 20 years of therapy after seeing my fat ass nude on your camera. But if somebody shows up and their intent is just to ring my doorbell, it's not criminal. That's a civil thing. Now, once I tell the police, I have to have a reason, in my opinion. You don't have to have any reason, guy, go. But I'm going to say, hey, listen, I don't know this guy. The guy sent me an email saying, "What's your address?" I interpret that as being malicious, and the guy's like, "No, I just want to talk to him." Now there's a problem that the cop has to mediate between two people. It's a civil issue. Cop now makes the ultimate decision. You got to go. Why? Because the homeowner says so. If the guy doesn't want to go, then you can start. Then it would be disorderly conduct, alarming, disturbing, a criminal trespass at that point because the cop had said so. But the cop has to sit there and ask on the actions that I asked them to do so as the nightclub doorman. I'm getting to a point of a missing factor of what we use the police for that we fucking shouldn't. So hold that thought on the journalist who wants to come over to my house and see me naked. As he continues this, I appreciate you getting back to me. I see nothing in the PA Crimes Code where defiant trespass is civil. I didn't say defiant trespass. I said somebody shows up to your property, right? Sean Paul Reyes knocks on the door. It's not criminal. It's not criminal. He wants to ask a couple questions. I admit I have lawfully seized individuals for fingerprinting ID as a precursor to criminal penalties. So the way I read that is here's a cop admitting that he has unlawfully, illegally seized people to identify them before crimes were committed. Before crimes were committed. However, we just got a mobile fingerprint tool to carry on the street, but I suppose that's a seizure also. You suppose? You're a cop. You shouldn't suppose. You should know. Have a great weekend. Appreciate your content. Lastly, what if the individual has already been warned and is in fact in the act of criminal trespass? I'll never know if I don't get the ID. That's right. You can't ID somebody without them having to commit a crime or reasonable suspicion, probable cause, all that. So these cops need to be exposed. I'm not interested in fucking making friends. I'm not. This is terrifying. I stated, mind-blowing, you admitted this, and we went on. It's insane. When I looked at the Sean Paul Reyes case on criminal trespass, we have Sean Paul going up to a door, right? And everybody's out there saying he committed trespass, criminal trespass. No, he didn't. At least I'm using the Illinois law to fit, right? He's on the residence. The second that Brian Fahey, who said, get out of here, then that fits the criminal trespass to real property if Sean stayed. But Sean immediately began movement, never stopped the progression of movement off the property, and there was no criminal trespass to property. What Fahey did, now here's Fahey's initial contact.
Gotcha, bro. Did the drive-through. It's kind of here. Do you just go through the drive-through see if anybody saw what happened right here? Okay, great. They did any statement. Yeah, Lobos?
I am moving. Do you have any comment on the allegations that you are receiving? Couldn't even get the question out. Ladies and gentlemen, he was so angry.
All right.
Couldn't even get the question out.
So I want to pause this for a second because this is where the issue I'm having that maybe some of you can clarify in the comment section. You're turning out to be a brilliant audience over on YouTube. If we have cops showing up to trespass people and the crime, criminal trespass to property, who are not committing crimes, I'm having a hard time understanding how we can give the police authority to do that. Going back to what I said, right, where I had said that, hey, one of the YouTube journalists DMs me and says, hey, you think Sean Paul's a hero? I'm a journalist. What's your address? And I give out my address all the time. 1839 Boliana Court, Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Like I said, come by. I will answer the fucking door naked. It's just that bad. And if you're a glutton for punishment, don't do it. Don't come by my house. I'm never home. Anyways, but my point is if you come here, I have to rely on the police to get you going, right? I have to call 911. I'm creating an emergency for them to come over, unwanted subject. The guy could just be having an honest question, but I don't want you on my property. We know I'm not allowed to grab you, throw you into the street, right? Because I'll go to jail. I had a conversation with my mother about this years ago. A woman was walking her dog, and this is how bad things are, to where the police are now arresting the wrong fucking people. Woman was walking her dog, and the dog took a shit on her property all the time, and my mother had a Ring camera. And she said 10:30 every morning, dog comes by, takes a piss and a shit on the lawn. She picks it up at the stand. I don't want her here. Next time she's going to come here, I'm going to go out and confront her. I said, you can't do that. Can't do that. Well, my mother was an Italian from Chicago, right? You don't confront these people. So she sits there and says, I'm going to go out there and confront her. And I go, you can't do it your way anymore, because you're 5 feet tall. You're this short Italian broad who's in her 70s, and when the woman sees you, all the woman has to do is go, that woman threatened me, and the cops are going to take you. That's how society is right now. Why? What are they enforcing trespass for when they don't even fucking know why? And they took away our ability to. Sean Paul exposed this again, because this is the solution for when you come to my home and I don't want you here. Why am I calling the police when ultimately Brian Fahey, in my opinion, just set the American standard for how we take care of criminal trespass to real property? Let's watch what Brian Fahey does. Brian tells Sean to get off his property.
Looks like we're in the right spot. Again, there aren't any no trespassing signs. We're just coming in peace to ask some questions.
No crime is being committed. Knock on the door. The guy's a racist, whatever. I don't like Hispanic men. I don't give a shit. It's America. Do whatever you want. Let's see how we handle this.
Oh, I'm currently being recorded, his Ring camera said.
Can I help you?
Hey, Sergeant Fahey, how are you?
You gotta get off my property. It's posted no trespassing.
Nope, there is no posted sign.
Yeah,
There's no
right
problem. Do you have any, let's go. Do you have any comment on the...
So Sean leaves, no criminal trespass to property whatsoever. Boom. Now, what does Fahey do? This is important. Sean Paul keeps knocking him out of the park on these things. He doesn't even realize he's doing them.
Allegations that you are... I am moving. Do you have any comment on the allegations that you are receiving... Couldn't even get the question out. Ladies and gentlemen, he was so angry. Couldn't even get the question out. He says that there's no trespassing signs. Let's see. Let's see if there's no trespassing signs. What a coward. He can assault me in broad daylight while receiving taxpayer money. But the minute an independent journalist comes to his home, and he's probably going to try and get me...
Now, there's a reasonable or a beyond reasonable amount of time for this to happen. But still, we all know what happens next.
Unlawfully arrested now. As you could see, I moved back his camera that says you are currently being recorded. Film this guy. You're crazy. What do you think I'm doing, you psycho? You have a weapon.
Yes. This is one of the most important aspects of the citizenry that we need to return back to, that the police have taken. Your Second Amendment. I'm starting to think about this a little bit more lately. If you come to my home and I don't want you here, I have every right to order you off my property with what the founding fathers implemented in that Second Amendment. I will say, get off my property, and I'll point a firearm at you. We know what's going to happen. I'm going to get arrested, right? Well, how do you know you're going to get arrested? We all know why I'm going to get arrested and why the cops won't, right? This is why I'll get arrested and you'll get arrested, but the cops won't, because we all remember this.
Well, an appeals court backs the expungement for a Central West End couple. The couple pointed guns at protesters back in 2020. And that means that these two are now a step closer to getting those firearms returned. The Post-Dispatch reports that the Eastern District Missouri Court...
Remember them, the McCloskeys? They did exactly what Brian Fahey did, but they got arrested. The government came in, the government seized their weapons, the government sent them to jail. They went through fucking hell for the exact same thing that McCloskey did, or for that Fahey did. This is the issue that is blowing me away, that we're watching our rights being completely deteriorated, and the police are not on the side of the public. The fact that every cop in America doesn't know that if a McDonald's, a Walgreens, I don't know, anything else says, hey, this person's got to go, you walk up and go, well, get them the fuck out of here then. I don't care. You don't want, what did they do? Did they commit a crime? No, they didn't. They're just loitering. Gotta go. Gotta go. And when we see it, right? You see 20 teens, 30 teens rush into a Walgreens, steal everything, leave. Okay. Not our problem. Not our problem, because you don't have your own security. You don't have cameras. It's a self-imposed cycle with businesses that I'm concerned about, that you utilize the police, that extend them from the businesses to the residential property. Businesses, I'm tired of kicking people out just because you want to. That's discriminatory. You might as well say, yeah, that person's black, I don't want him here. That person's Asian, I don't want him here. That person's looks like a MAGA supporter, I don't want him here. Okay, if that's the case, private business, hire your own security to remove them. You don't have to ask for ID. You grab them, you throw them out the door. Done. Businesses used to do that all the time. Nightclubs used to do that all the time. Residential property, get your firearm. Get the fuck off my property. It's as simple as that. We need to have more people criminally prosecuted when they don't leave, or if they've been shot by the homeowner. I don't know how this got this bad. I've never seen this trespass issue ever this bad in my life. It was simply show up. Dude, your girlfriend says you got to go, man. We never had people say, I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Well, then now you have to really find the essence of it. Okay, I gave you a lawful order. I'm acting on her behalf. You got to go. Remove me from that. Why can't Susie Q be like Mrs. McCloskey here, have a firearm? And she deals with it. And if he doesn't want to leave, then call the police. We took away, and we gave the rights to the police. Gave up our rights for the police to have this blanket of security and safety, and thinking they're going to act on our behalf, and they're not. They're not. I've just seen, and it was Thornton. Matt put up this video, and he's right. I keep seeing these videos that cops think they just show up. You got to go. Give me your ID. For what? This, again, is one of those issues. I don't know how we're going to solve it. We have to figure out a way. Our Second Amendment is one of the most important. It is the most important amendment, because it protects all the others. Without the Second Amendment, you don't have a right to anything else. I personally believe that all gun laws are illegal. I don't care if you own an Abrams tank. I don't care. You got the money, man, go right ahead. You want a rocket launcher? Oh, God, when the apocalypse comes, I'm coming over to your house. I have never seen this bad epidemic of not only cops who do not know what the First Amendment is, and First Amendment auditors keep proving that right, but all these cops who have no idea what criminal trespass is and how it's not just because they say so. If you're a cop, study up on this. I would 100%, because I've done it. You go up to a business, says this guy's got to go, and you go, why? What did he do? Well, nothing. I just don't want him here. I don't have that responsibility. I can ask him to leave, and then that comes into the silver lining tongue that you have as a cop. Hey, listen, the business doesn't want you here. You just got to go. Do me a favor. Would you just go? You have to find a way to get them to leave. And 99.9% of the times, they always leave because they don't think they can fight you, meaning verbally fight you. And I'm not advocating that you do either, because I don't want to see you string up with a problem. But private businesses are different. First Amendment auditors go into a private business. We don't want you here. You're filming this and that. Private business, not public places of business or government business that are open to the public. But if you go to a restaurant, you film and this and that, they don't want you. That's a different story. If you're just there, like we saw with the McDonald's video, the Riverside PD, those cops are at least initial. I think both of them do. Both of them need to be criminally prosecuted for a Fourth Amendment violation. They illegally seized the subject, who then later died. Fahey may just have done America a big favor. If that scumbag piece of shit is not going to get arrested, then we need to set him as the precedence for every American out there. If you come to my property and I point a fucking gun at you and I say get off, and the police show up, go, no, absolutely not. Brian Fahey out of Connecticut just proved that you can use a firearm. I can chase you off my property thanks to Brian Fahey, and it's 100% legal. I can grab a gun, scream at you, threaten you, get the fuck off my property. When the police show up, they get arrested. The Second Amendment is what takes care of trespassing violations, not the police. So when it comes to this, I really think we need to look into this criminal trespass to residents, criminal trespass real property. More so, criminal trespass to residents. You break into my home. No, it's going to be very bad for you. Criminal trespass to property. Stay off my lawn, man. The fuck off my lawn. Just go. You got to go. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Go. Call the police. Police get there. Just because I say go, they cannot demand my identification or their identification if they did nothing criminal. So this has many, many facets to this video because this is an extremely dynamic thing that we're dealing with. Cops have to learn when they can demand for ID. You as the citizen need to learn to say, are you lawfully ordering me to give you my identification? Yes, you are. Great. Get it on camera. If there's no crime you committed, you need to find lawyers who will sue federally. This process needs to start. We can't sue, and that's where the qualified immunity has to come into place, where suing the agencies is not good enough. We need to sue the individual officers. They need to feel the pain. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. A lot of people are calling me a blue falcon lately. Good, because I refuse to associate with this type of criminal police behavior. It's not what I did. It's not what anybody that I know that I work with did. So, and the Second Amendment. We need to look at the Second Amendment because those rights are being completely eroded and removed from the United States. This was just my thought on criminal trespass to property and to residents and how the cops have no fucking clue what they're doing. More citizens will get hurt, as you saw. More citizens will be, if that kid on the bike resisted and there was no law he broke and the cop beat him up, the cop shot him, what's going to happen? We need police accountability on a massive scale. We need to shine more light on the fact that some of you dumb fucks out there have no clue what you're doing. And you need to sit down, get off the fucking TikTok and say, might be time for me to review case law and understand what the definition of my state statutes are. Can I order somebody to give me my ID? You as a citizen, though, if you're at a McDonald's and a cop is able to talk you and ask you and you turn over your ID, you need to educate yourself more. But understand, if you go with an impasse and you go, I'm not leaving, after you've been warned, now that's going to be an issue. So I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm telling you to know how far you can go to it and demand and say, even be kind. Listen, officer, I'm trying to hold you accountable. I want to know that you know what the law is. Do you know whether or not you can actually order me to give you your ID? Did I commit a crime? Because if I didn't, listen, I'm leaving, but I want you to know that you're completely in the wrong right now and you're opening yourself up to a lawsuit. Don't speak to them like Chili DeCastro. I know a lot of you love him as a First Amendment auditor. That man is doing nothing to progress the improvement for law enforcement. So, and I don't give a shit if that offends many of you. There's a better way to do it, and Sean Paul Reyes is a shining example of how to do that. That's it. I cannot believe that we have such a massive problem of the trespass issue in the United States. We have a massive amount of cops who have no fucking clue what they're doing, and a massive amount of people who don't know that their Second Amendment rights are gone. They're gone. So Brian Fahey needs to be the example. If he's not going to be criminally prosecuted, he needs to be the example of, okay, we can do this now. We can all take our firearms and we could chase people off of the property because Brian Fahey did it. Sean Paul got arrested. And this sets a precedent in the United States. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And let's see where we can get this started. Don't forget to go to patreon.com, join our Cop Talk Live, and join our Monday night roll calls, 9 p.m. Eastern, and our monthly Thursday night town hall meetings. See you guys in the next video.